Hello, I'm Mary V. Today, let's talk about how to loosen a tight grip between the thumb and the first finger. So unfortunately, a lot of violinists have this problem of a very, very tight grip between the first finger, the thumb, and it stops them being able to stretch the hand out to be able to play the fourth finger properly. And their fourth finger is very rigid and just can't move, can't do vibrato, etc. It leads to lots and lots of problems. Well, let's take a look at the basic violin hold. And the violin is held in the left hand between the thumb and the inside of the first finger. And depending on the size of the hand, the finger could be lower or it could be higher, right? But we also have to use the first finger to play, so it's got to be an actual working finger. So we put the tip of the finger down to play. But if we leave the inside of the first finger down, then there's 3 points touching the neck, and there should only be 2 points touching the neck. And so we've got 1, 2, 3. And that's the cause of the tightness. It's because we're not letting go of the inside of the first finger. So it makes everything very rigid, it makes the fourth finger very straight, and it's incredibly difficult to do anything, vibrato included. So we've got to learn, when we put our finger down, to go from the violin hold to the playing finger. And it means practicing a little movement of releasing the inside of the first finger. So you can see that you need to change from holding the violin on the open string with the 2 points, the inside of the first finger and the thumb. And when the first finger goes down, there needs to be a tiny, tiny little gap. So that's what you need to do, and it's a really good idea to practice it with your violin down like this so you can actually look at it. And put your first finger down, and at the same time just create a tiny, tiny little gap. Like that. And just practice that over and over and over again. And then once you can do that, start putting down other fingers while you've got the gap in your first finger, right? And then back to open string, which is holding the violin with the inside of the first finger. So you need to transfer from the violin hold to the finger being used. Violin hold to finger. Now, why do we have to do that? Because when we're playing on open strings, we need to revert to the violin hold, which is the 2 points, the thumb and the inside of the first finger, right? And then when we immediately start to play, we need to change the violin hold to the tip of the first finger and the thumb, or the tip of the second finger and the thumb. Now, if you realize that only 2 points of the hand should be touching the neck at any given time, then you'll realize that, in fact, by leaving the inside of your first finger down and also putting the tip of your finger down and having your thumb there, that there are 3 points, and that's what makes the hand rigid. So there can only be 2. Now you'll find that once your first finger isn't still having the inside touching, that the whole hand is much freer to move and stretch, right? By releasing the first finger. Now, there doesn't always have to be a gap. The first finger can just still touch, but it's just not holding. It's grazing the side. So try practicing this movement, which is leaving the thumb in place and grazing the inside of the first finger, right? So change from the hold to just the slide, and you'll find that you can move your hand, you can move the first finger. It makes it easier. So be confident. It's a tiny little exercise, but it represents a huge difference in the way that you're playing, because if you have only 2 points touching the neck at one time, you'll find a lot of freedom. So you need to go from the violin hold to the working finger, the violin hold, the working finger, right? Until it becomes really natural. So I hope you get on well with your experiments and find a lot of success. And I'll say bye-bye for now. Bye.